So investors are pouring billions into tech startups, many of which have dual use applications for military and then civilian purposes. So as someone who advises on IP, what advice would you give investors looking to fund the next big thing in defense or healthcare tech to just ensure that their investments are protected?
So a little background on that is when I first came to Posanelli Law Firm 10 years ago, I was only focused on intellectual property, but working with Marty, working with other investor groups and emerging growth companies, you quickly learn that as important as IP is, and that's my expertise, you learn about the importance of capital, understanding the whole organization, understanding the business, understanding who they can possibly, who I can introduce them to in the family office space to help on capital raises, or in a strategic sense, if you can introduce someone at J&J or another big company to do a collaboration partnership agreement, then that's very beneficial. But purely from an IP standpoint, one of the things that we really look at is who owns the IP. We want to make sure that the company owns the IP, normally a C Corp in Delaware. And what we try to do is make sure that all the employees have basic employment agreements that state, among other things, that all the IP they generated at the companies is owned by the corporate entity itself. And that's because that's where the valuation of that company is. There's some statistics out there, just about the real enterprise value of many of the top companies is really entrenched in its intellectual property. That goes for Apple, Google, some of the biggest companies in the world. So what we try to do is really focus on who owns the IP and make sure that that ownership is ultimately assigned or owned by the corporate entity itself for valuation purposes.